Good morning and welcome. It's a brand new week on your premium breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Hello and good morning. Thanks for being here. Thanks for staying tuned, catching all the editions of the show. And there are loads of new ones coming up this week. Week in, week out, we're always here.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be fantastic, especially that it is a holiday and we've got more people sitting at home watching us here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for choosing this channel here to, well, start your week. And a very good one it will be.
Yeah.
Also, it's Monday, and in all your dealings, take a leaf from me, as I will always take the route of fairness and peace anytime, any day, even during misunderstandings. There's a reason why I'm saying this. Don't worry, I'll tell you after.
But you know, even if we know that you've noticed that we're all dressed up.
Oh,
you know, but Mary is looking all glam and dressed up
Ooh.
as well. Hey, looking great.
Homegrown
Purple.
Mary.
Hey.
How you doing, Mary?
Very well. I decided to rebel and wear another color.
Oh.
I'm sure you like it. Purple Royal.
It's nice.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Unlike
So what do we call today? Do we say happy inauguration? Because, you know, Yorubas tend to have something for every day. So, inauguration. Oh.
Yes, so Eku inauguration, no, that's how they'll say it, I guess. And a lot of inauguration celebrations and activities will be happening all over the country today. But we're here also to entertain you, so you need to stay tuned for all of that.
Oh yes, indeed. We're at the cusp of a new dispensation. So hey, we're looking for positivity all the way until the end. We have a very interesting lineup for you guys, stillage just for you. So make sure you're in your seats and raring to go just as we are. My name, of course, is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilaya Oyinson. You can watch the show live on GOTV channel 16 and UHF channel 49.
Yeah, you can also stream live. All you need to do is find us tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook as well. We are at TVC Connect across all the social media handles, platforms. Sending your comments, we love to read them.
Yes, sir.
Across all the platforms, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeriaOnTVC.
All right. Now, the app is also available for you to download. Don't forget that, whether it's Android or iOS you're using, you can watch us from anywhere across the world, as long as you're online.
Indeed. Now, let's tell them what we have coming up for the show here today. Today,
we'll be having a musical performance. Baba Femi Samuel, popularly known as Blueprints, will be here to perform his new track.
then we move on to some motivation for you guys. As this week, we will be looking at self-leadership for governance with Shei Jolayemi, a creative, dynamic, and self-motivated woman with 12 years of experience in idea conceptualization, brand management, and effective brand communication.
And on SME, we'll be having Dorcas Awika, CEO Imade Creations. Now, we will be let in on exactly what it's like to have a business making fine leather bags, throw pillows, and so many other great handcrafted items.
Brand, you're all looking very fine today. Mr. Mike,
thank
you're
you.
welcome, everybody.
Yep,
And this
great to be
was
here.
not planned.
Ah!
We're just synced up.
Yeah.
To be
But
here.
it's really nice. You guys look amazing.
Yeah.
I love your outfits, Mazina.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
yours as well.
Thank you. Thank
love
you
yours.
so much. Yeah,
Oscar,
Mike?
don't be jealous.
Wow. Really?
Just saying. How was your weekend? How did your weekend start?
My weekend was, we had a wonderful
Oh,
Friday.
Friday.
I lost my voice and all of that. I had to go somewhere, go for a shoot, and then after the shoot, it was supposed to be all night, but I had to grab some few hours of sleep and then rush here Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So it was work full, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
We
restful.
should tell them what happened on Friday.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
Every single month, at the end of the month, we always have a fun Friday. And our fun Friday theme for the last Friday was TVC's Got Talent. And it was such a blast. We're going to be showing you guys a few of the excerpts from the show. It was fantastic. We had a winner, first runner-up and a second runner-up. It was good to see that every people you work with actually have talents you never thought that they did.
Telling
And it was,
you.
I wish that I was let to perform because I had a couple of tricks I wanted to,
Really?
Of course.
Mazino?
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, sometimes whenever he says things like this, run. Anybody, just run.
I got talents you guys don't know about.
Yes.
I do.
I definitely,
We
you,
have
you
artists
definitely
here,
have. You
creative
definitely have.
artists
I mean,
here. We have
people that,
performers,
yeah.
you know.
People that are intelligent. We always have something behind that people don't know about. And then when it comes up, it just to shock you. They'll be like this.
I won't tell you guys what it is. One day I'm
Definitely.
just going to bring an art piece and show you guys. You guys can be like, very nice artist. Yeah, it's me.
Wow.
Honest.
Really?
Nice.
Okay. No,
So we all have our inbred talents, and that's something I was saying just even on radio yesterday as well, that everybody is special. So people feel entitled. You need to check yourself because everybody is special. Everybody is unique.
Yeah.
So if you think because you are who you are, you need to be treated differently or in a certain kind of way, then that's a problem because there's nothing that you have that somebody else doesn't have.
True.
Maybe just not in the same form. And another thing, and this also brings me to something that was trending over the weekend, where somebody was celebrating an achievement and someone went, try that in medicine. And it's annoying that people feel what they have, what they know is better than other people. The reality is we all have our strengths.
Unique strength.
We have our
You
strengths.
see, this thing you just mentioned, I've seen people who talk about how tough medical school is, how tough law school is.
Yeah.
But there are some other people that to them is a breeze. And those people, if you put maybe a poem in front of them, they won't be able to memorize that poem in what?
Yeah.
I always tell people that thing. Look, it's the same thing you tell your kids. When you want to tell a kid study for 10 hours, I used to tell somebody I never ever picked up a pen to solve maths. I always used to read maths. Till I left school, I was always top 3.
Wow.
Junior secondary, just 1 to just 3, I was number 1. Junior secondary, I was a bit lazy because I still didn't want to solve, but always top 3.
I've always, there's no
people-
such thing
and
as
then-
knowledge. It's just that you're putting the person in the wrong place.
Exactly.
And I was
That's
actually
just it.
going to say that. So you
That's
have
just
someone
it.
who is
That's
an
just it.
expert in medicine
That's
or in
just it.
engineering, but bring them in front of a microphone, in front of a camera, and
They
they,
can't.
Or
they
something.
freeze.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
So,
have it.
yeah,
Yes, and then
exactly.
they start shaking and all because that is not what they were meant to be. You take you tell a fish climb a tree.
Now,
The fish can't climb the tree.
in any case, I wanted to take one more moment to appreciate all of us. If you guys can look in the screen there.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful day, isn't it?
It is.
But there's a way
It
fish
is.
can climb a tree.
Wow.
If
It will be doing like this.
that flood, you know that flood that used to happen.
Wow.
You know see those floods?
You
That
have a
covered
point.
tree. It was looking like it would rain this
Good
morning.
one.
Mike Messikeno, it's the news on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari said he was confident he's leaving office with Nigeria better than in 2023. Now, better in 2023 than in 2015. In his farewell speech, the President said he will leave behind an electoral process which guarantees that votes count, results are credible, elections are fair and transparent, and the influence of money in politics reduced to the barest minimums. Nigerians also can now elect leaders of their choice. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
An 8-year journey that started in 2015 comes to an end in 2023. This presidential broadcast is perhaps the last official assignment for President Buhari in his capacity as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces.
I address you today.
It is also a happy ending that celebrates another peaceful transition of power from one elected government to another. But one major legacy President Muhammadu Buhari would cherish is the improved electoral system that produced Bola Tinubu as president.
We must, as a nation, improve and sustain gains we made in the electoral process on an incremental basis for Nigeria to take its rightful place among nations. Our democracy provides for, allows, and encourages seeking redress for perceived injustices, enabling some candidates and political parties that do not agree with the results to go to court. Irrespective of the outcome of the various cases, I urge all parties involved to accept the decision of our courts and join hands to build a better Nigeria.
It was not a walk in the park for an administration that grappled with the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, 2 economic recessions, insecurity, high unemployment, and increased poverty. The federal government made difficult choices in its most difficult moments, but President Muhammadu Buhari has apologized for the temporary pains it caused.
The Nigerian economy has become more resilient due to the various strategies put in place to ensure that our economy remained afloat during cases of global economic downturns. We made some difficult choices, most of which yielded the desired results. Some of the measures led to temporary pain and suffering, for which I sincerely apologize to my fellow countrymen. But the measures were taken for the overall good of the country.
As the clock ticks to the start of a new administration, President Buhari says Nigerians chose the best among the candidates that contested for the office of president. He commends Bola Tinubu's desire and commitment to work for a better Nigeria.
To my brother, friend, and fellow worker in the political terrain for the past 10 years, Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I congratulate you on the realization of your dream, which was propelled by a burning passion to put Nigeria among the leading nations of the world. You have indeed worked for this day, and God has crowned your efforts.
As the sun sets on President Buhari's administration and he retires to Daura, his country home, the spotlight will now be on Bola Ahmed Tinubu as Nigerians look forward to the fulfillment of his promises, plans and programs in the renewed hope agenda. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
And then on to foreign stories, where President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has won another 5 years in power in Turkey's election. Officials say he won 52.14% of the votes, with only a small number still being counted. His circular rival, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, says the election was unfair. Erdogan became Turkish Prime Minister in 2003 and President in 2014. No candidate managed to secure 50% of the votes in the first round, with Erdogan on 49.52% and his rival on 45%. Erdogan supporters are celebrating and foreign leaders have sent congratulatory messages. And that's it on the news for this hour. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. The show is just getting started.
All right, welcome back, and we're back here for What's Up and About.
Yes, indeed. There's nothing else up and about today except the inauguration, which is about to begin, which is going to begin today. And of course, you know, it's something to talk about.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bridge something real quick.
Sure.
Or maybe I should let you do it. Just go carry it
Yeah,
on.
so there's so many different things to talk about with this, but let's just say all roads lead to Eagle Square today, as the inauguration of the President of Nigeria happens today. Now, this is to mark the commencement of a new 4-year term for the President of Nigeria, and it's taking place at Eagle Square. So it's happened at Eagle Square for a long time, you know.
Consecutively.
Exactly. It was formerly at TBS, Tafawa Balewa was here a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Exactly. So it's interesting. But then, have we actually talked to our kids about, the history of Nigeria? And have we actually talked about different presidents before? Have you had those conversations?
So this, funny you should say, because that was what I was going to say. My daughter asked me this question on Saturday, and I tried explaining to her, and then I realized how much of Nigerian history we don't let our kids know, or we are inadvertently oblivious to the fact that they're noticing these things happening, but we're not defining it for them. We're not telling them this is what's happening, this is how it happens. It's a 4-year dispensation, change presidents and so on and so on. So it's something that I'm thinking that parents need to add to, even if you think they learn these in school, it's something that you consciously need to let them know about.
So the internet has largely helped. Some years back, because I love giving quizzes, there's something I do, Mary Upgrade My Weekend, where you have to answer questions. And I realized that as at 5 years ago, 8 years ago, you could not find trivia on Nigeria online.
Oh, that is true.
But now, if you go online, just type Nigeria trivia, you will find several questions. Questions that have answers that you can learn your history from. So much so that you get to know when we swapped from pounds to naira. These are things that are now easily accessible information. So it's something that I believe what many countries do. You see animations, different cartoons that simplify this
part
knowledge.
of their education.
Exactly.
And it's very
But we don't do that
intentional.
here. It's not intentional in Nigeria. It's unfortunate. History used to be a significant part of education.
Was there a period it was out of the curriculum?
Yes, it was, but now it's back.
There was a period it was out.
Yes.
History was out of the curriculum.
There was.
There was. I know. I'm not very
Why
sure.
would there ever be
exactly. Why would there ever be
situation
a time where history
wasn't-
was out of the curriculum? But as a country, growing up, history for us, we had more history on what we learned was the Benin Kingdom. So you hear about things like, what's her name now? What's the princess of the Benin Kingdom? Is it a Mota or something?
You walked into that one, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, the Kanu Empire, the you know, the Jos Caliphate, you know, all of that and all of it. So we had more of the Oyo Empire, you know, the Caliphate and all of that. So we learned about of these things individually. But I feel like with every generation, you have to upgrade what you learn to be conversant with what is going on now. So we should have more history. As much as these are important, we should have more history from when we came together as a nation, or when we were, you know, when we were put together, and understand that we share something as Nigerians, one way or the other. We're in this together. You know, I saw this video yesterday of a young boy who was traveling, maybe for studies or something, you know, and then he was supposed to leave, and then the way he held on to his mom and was crying, you know. And a number of things came to my mind. I was like, okay, we should work towards ensuring that we don't separate. That might be the last time he might see his mom.
Very true.
Is a friend of mine who was saying that they surprised her dad by bringing his brother
from abroad.
to the the brother was in Canada, so the dad was maybe UK or US. They brought the brother to the dad's 60th birthday.
I think I saw that video.
And they had not seen for 30 years.
I saw that video.
Goodness
and I was like,
me.
wow.
My man, they had not seen for 30 years. So when there was a migration, brother went to one country, Jonah went to one country. 30 years.
That's the reality of
wanted
life.
to-
So
now.
you know, I just want to say that we get to a
to-
point where, as a country, we try to work towards having that country such a way that we don't tear ourselves so far apart, and we have
have
families
something
that
that
grow
binds.
away.
We do
you know,
have all those
so-
nuggets of civic education that we all remember, you know, the number of states, you know, state and capital.
Past presidents
and then
or heads of
what-
states and all of that.
heads of states and the like. But the thing is, I think it's actually based on how much of an impact different presidents had on the parents we have,
True.
which will make them have discussions.
Very true.
So, for instance, my parents always used to talk about go on because of all the, you know, all the infrastructures you put.
Weren't
in
you
place
born
when
then?
you- Really?
You were?
Really, as you know, not everybody is as old as you and Mike, but go on.
So,
Wow, no, Mike's
But
still
then
very young.
I wanted
Don't cast him like that. Mike,
Oh,
you're here.
Mike,
I'm fighting for you.
Stray bullets, no bless.
I'm old. I'm not young.
I wanted
Don't
to
try-
touch
don't
on
try us.
this issue of
try us.
you know, aspiring to be president. You know, if you ask a child in America, you know, well, if you maybe 2 in 10 probably would tell you they wouldn't mind being the president.
That's because of
of
the
America.
It's
impact.
part of the things you need
Yeah.
to know to even be a citizen.
Yeah,
There
okay.
are, even in the UK,
Yeah.
there are certain questions you'll be asked
Yeah.
when you want to naturalize.
Yeah.
That you know, you need to know basic things,
But then-
accents, certain
But then
catchphrases.
So where I was going with that, Mary, was actually how many of our kids aspire to be president of Nigeria?
Many of them.
You know? Are you
Because that-
sure? Are you
why
sure? Have you
are
ever
they
had that
aspiring? I think that should be the question.
Oh, wow,
There are
very-
many young people who are aspiring to be president, but why are they aspiring?
Mm.
My thought has always been that a people with no history are a lost people. If you cannot move forward, you need to at least look back
Yeah.
and learn lessons. There are certain things that are happening now, like talk about civil war and stuff,
Yeah.
that I believe if people were really conversant with the reality, especially of what it is like, taking a look at Sudan, for example, now,
Yeah.
you would avoid certain issues. Nigeria is a great country, and it is only going to get better. We can only
Amen to
choose to
that.
be positive.
Yeah.
As much as there might be things that will try to hold us back, it's something we should take responsibility for. And children knowing these things, history and the likes, it's something that the children themselves should be made to take as part of their everyday life. Social studies is still being taught, thankfully, it wasn't
Hopefully.
stopped. And I know history nuggets are usually thrown in there as well.
I would like to just simply
Okay.
put this in, plug this in, and say, I think when you talk about nationhood as a concept, we always hear or think of it as something that's left for governance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's one and every other person. You as an
Absolutely.
individual.
True.
If you have
Absolutely.
that sense about you, that moral
Yeah.
about you, I think it's going to transcend throughout your small community, larger community, your local government, your state and all.
Yeah.
We just have to note that I'm responsible.
Yes.
That's the mistake we make as a nation.
Yes.
Thinking that they'll take care of
Not
it.
my
right? No,
business.
it's your
Someone
business.
said if you want to change
Your
the
business
world,
and your business.
Yeah.
you have to start by changing yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It starts with
Exactly.
you,
Smallest
all of that.
unit of society, they say, is the family. And if you've not started teaching your family about things they could do to positively impact their nation, their country, so, you know, where is it supposed to start from? Is it going to start from the schools? Probably not.
Let me give you
Well,
an example, a very small example, very local example. I saw this man who he was driving this rather nice car. Stops by the side of the road, opens his trunk, and then he brings out a what do you call these pong pong?
Oh, yeah.
The what do you call them in English?
Okay, it's basically a bowl
Big
to
basin,
carry
with
basin.
cement,
Yeah.
cement, and he brought it out, brought out a couple of bricks, and then he commenced to actually place it inside of a pothole in the middle of the road. And I'm like, you're driving a big car.
Yeah.
And I stopped and I'm like, what are you doing? And he told me, well, if he doesn't do it, it's going to go bad. So
And it's going to
a
get
stitch
worse.
in time.
Remind me of
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger. That's what he did.
Impacted me in such a way that I'm like, if he can do that, if everybody had that sense about themselves, that it's not our property, it's my property.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a better
This was exactly what Schwarzenegger did.
Yeah.
Exactly what he did. I mean, there, you see stuff and in a few hours it's gone.
Exactly.
He said this one was there for 3 days, a pothole. He came down himself. The video is trending. I mean, this is about 60-something, 70-year-old man.
Yeah.
He started putting it and covered the hole.
We need to
I
take
think that's
personal responsibility. I think that's
Yeah.
something we are sadly lacking as people. You know how to blame others, but then what are you doing in your own small space
Yeah.
to make Nigeria better?
So during the live broadcast today, you're going to see the oath of office being taken. Maybe we should also say it along with the incoming president of Nigeria. All right, let's take a quick break. At this point, we'll be back with more right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
So help us God.
Amen. Time for us to get cooking this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. And our chef today is none other than Chef Kemisola. It's so good to have you in the studio with us this morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, people at home.
Good morning indeed.
Yeah.
So what are we having for breakfast? I can almost tell what it is,
Yeah.
but I'll let you tell us.
Okay.
What's for breakfast?
We're having a yamashe sauce with ofada rice.
I've always wondered at that word, ayamashe.
Yeah.
I would like you to break it down for me. But first, let's talk about the ingredients.
Okay.
What are we making use of?
Okay, we're making use of this.
Okay.
That's the green atarodo.
That's
Can see-
ripe one.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Then we have tomatoes. We
Okay.
can use the green one as well, but
Okay.
it's somehow scarce. So you
Okay.
get this. Then we have onions.
Okay.
That's the basic one.
Okay.
Then
I
we
didn't
have our
think we used to
protein.
put tomatoes in it.
Some
Some
put,
do to
yeah,
temper
yeah,
the
because there are
pepper.
two types of this unripe. One, if you keep it for a long time, it will turn red.
Okay.
But the other species, like this one, if you taste it, it's somehow sweet.
Okay.
So at times you just get it and
Okay,
you get, yeah.
And this one doesn't turn red at all?
Yes, yes.
Ah, okay. So what else?
So we have our protein, we have pomo,
Okay.
we have boiled egg.
What's in this?
We have beef, assorted intestine,
Okay.
and
But
the
it's just
rest.
that it's been fried.
Yes.
This has been boiled.
Yes,
Momo.
yes.
Okay. Then we have
Our
seasoning cubes.
yeah,
Okay.
seasoning powder. We have iru, we have salt.
And onions.
Yes, onions.
Okay. And of course palm oil.
Yeah.
And then as you mentioned,
Boiled egg.
eggs.
Yeah.
Now let me go back to that ayamashe.
Okay.
What does ayamashe mean?
Ayamashe is the woman that started this whole ayamashe stew.
So that's
Her
her name.
name is, her husband's name is Mashe. So her own is Ayamashe, meaning the wife of Mashe or Mrs. Mashe.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That's the meaning of ayamashe sauce.
yeah.
So all this while,
So she's from Shagam.
it's even Shagam.
Yes.
So when people say ayamashe, people always go ayamashe. They think it's probably the name of a place, and then,
No.
so it's aya
Mashe,
wife
Mrs.
of
Mashe.
See what we are talking about when it comes to history,
Yeah.
knowing the story behind stuff.
Yeah.
So whenever you're making this sauce, just know that you're talking about Mrs. Mashe.
Yeah.
So we make it in memory of Mrs. Mashe every
Mashe,
time
yeah.
because she is the one who brought this about.
Yeah.
Okay, so run me through the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
what's the first thing we're doing?
I will put her palm oil
Okay.
on the fire. We have to bleach it.
Okay.
And we do the process of white paper.
On white.
Yes,
with
not
white paper.
everybody knows it.
Okay, you know what? Let's just stop right there.
Okay.
Hopefully we can show you that process.
Okay.
But right now, however, we've got to head to this couch for our newspaper review.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're welcome. It's time for the papers. We're going to give you guys the headlines, especially as today is a very special day in Nigeria's history. Monday, the 29th for May 2023. We're going to be starting with the Tribune. I'm not here alone. Of course, we have the delectable Mrs. Oisa in the house here with me. Thank you very much. All right, so today I'm going to start. Let's start with the big headline here for the Tribune newspaper. Tinubu takes oath of office today, his road to presidency. The riders here, Abuja agog, all set for his inauguration. Eagle Square takes shape. Security forces cordon off 3 armed zones. Governor-elect set for inauguration in 28 states and world leaders arrive. This is a very big event, especially since yesterday, after talks about how Abuja is filled to the brim. There's plenty of traffic there and all. So you can see that there's plenty of preparations, people arriving the center for the big event.
You can imagine how the airports would look right now. You wouldn't want to be doing any unnecessary traveling right now in that space. But it's also interesting to note that, you know, in terms of governors-elect, we have 18 new governors and 10 returning governors. So, you know, it's really significant when we have 28 states all having their inaugurations as well today. So a lot is happening all over Nigeria. It's going to be interesting to see who shows up and how the Eagle Square is going to look today.
Well, you can see that already from the photo story there. I see plenty of preparations. There's still more headlines here for Tribune. Olubadan, Ayaoku, Emefiele Osaba, Daura, others for national honors, and Buhari discriminated against South, says Clark. That on page 102 will make for very interesting read there. That's all we can take for the Tribune. What do you have?
I have with me the Nation newspaper. Of course, a lot of congratulatory messages on all the covers of the papers this morning from, you know, different organizations and parastatals. It says here, world leaders for Tinubu's inauguration, and as I mentioned earlier on, 18 new and 10 second-term governors to take oath of office. It also says here, Anyoku, 339 eminent Nigerians get national awards. Reps concur with senators on CBN Act amendments. And that's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
Moving real quick to the Punch newspaper, same story here. Tinubu takes oath as president. Nigerians demand quick action. That's something everybody is expecting. And also private sector demands blueprints on economy and fuel subsidy. Don't pity me. I asked for the job. But I won't give up. I won't give excuses, says the president-elect. That's Tinubu himself. And Tinubu worked hard to be elected president, says Buhari. Plenty of expectations regarding fuel subsidy especially, but there was plenty of talk about that over the weekend regarding the subsidy and how it might go. There are very many parties to this story and how we might eventually find that this matter would go in this new dispensation. One last one for the Punch newspaper. African presidents, U.S.-Canadian delegations arrive for inauguration. You must also accept the fact that there had been plenty of groundwork done by the president-elect before the inauguration date, him traveling across the world trying to make relationships with these countries. So you'd only expect that they'd have to, or they'd be at the inauguration. And
and whoever we do see today at Eagle Square will actually, you know, sort
indicative of what to expect regarding the relationship between Nigeria and that country. Very true.
So once they've arrived, you know, that's the first step. You know, what happens after inauguration is also going to be very key. Everybody's also looking out for the first 100 days after inauguration as well. So that's something to note. Let's see which other paper we have here.
For our final paper, I think we have the Guardian newspaper.
Yes, the Guardian newspaper. We have here cautious optimism as Tinubu offers hope to weary Nigerians. Then there is, you know, a sort of infographic here on, sorry about that, an infographic here on, you know, Buhari's tenure as it ends and his 8-year performance indicators. You know, so that should go for an interesting read if you get the chance to find the Guardian newspaper. So let's see if we can go into some of these indicators.
Very fine print there. I'm not sure if you can do that.
I'm going to see, well, so you can see the green bar and the red bar there in many different areas. I'm trying to see if you can see it here.
No, I don't think they can.
There are, it's a little blurry here.
Yeah, but the headline on there says Buhari's tenure ends, but not his rare economic footprints. Especially at the end of it, there's plenty of, you know.
There was quite a lot of nostalgic pictures going on online as well of, you know, the president and vice president basically leaving, preparing to leave, you know, saying bye to their staff, giving speeches and, you know, prayers, thanks to God as well. We were seeing a lot of that online, which is something we've not actually seen because social media has actually given us a chance to, have a little window into what actually happens
And
during
one
the
more
handover.
thing, which forms a headline here for page
Yeah.
8 on The Guardian. I apologize for my difficult choices that caused pains, Buhari tells Nigerians. I found that rather humane. I'll just say, as on a personal note, personally. It's something we should note.
Apologies when they come, especially, they're difficult choices that we probably
May not
would
understand
never
the background
understand.
for.
There are probably some things we'll probably never even hear about. Some decisions, hard choices, especially as a leader of such a strong nation.
Multifaceted nation.
Exactly. Sometimes you're probably in between a rock and a hard place, and when you're making decisions like that, you're making decisions for an entire country. There's so many things you have to just put aside. And now that is now the job of the new incoming president.
Yes.
We, as it says here, cautious optimism as Tinubu offers hope to weary Nigerians. Now that's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
And indeed, that's all that we have for today. You might want to pick one or two of these papers up and read. If you have your opinion that you'd like to share, well, why don't you? Go ahead, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeriaOnTVC. Would like to hear. Thank you very much for joining us for the papers. Do stay tuned. We've got more than enough for today's edition of Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be back.
So we're not making any mistakes with the pronunciation anymore, right? Aya Mashi. Aya Mashi, the wife of Mashi. No. Well, that's why I'm trying to make sure you don't make that mistake.
I can make a mistake with the pronunciation, but I will not make a mistake when
in the tasting. See your mouth. Welcome again to the kitchen. Chef Kemisola is still hard at work, making us breakfast, ofada rice with ayamashi sauce. Okay, so ayamashi sauce requires you to buy ekpo, meaning you bleach the palm oil. And as it is, the palm oil, well, I'm just afraid. I know the fire extinguisher is not so far away in case we need to get that, as an emergency measure. But first, let's take a look at the ingredients and then we'll tell you what we've done so far and then proceed from there. We're making, as I said, ayamashi sauce with ofada rice. And those are the ingredients on your screen right now. Okay, so we have the palm oil, and I noticed you've been testing it, your white paper test. What does this white paper test do exactly?
Just for you to know that you don't over bleach it.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you dip your white paper inside, and it comes out with this, that means it's not yet bleached.
Okay.
But if you dip it in and comes out with like a granite oil color, that is ready.
So the moment it is clear, that means it is ready. So as long as it's still palm oily,
it's not ready.
It's not ready.
Yeah.
Okay, because we've tried this once.
Yeah.
This was about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Then this was about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Let me show you what it looks like so you're not wondering what is Mary talking about. So this was the first one. It's even still thick with palm oil.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is the second one, which is more recent than this one.
Yeah.
So this was the first, and this is the second.
So
okay.
let's try it.
So let me give you a closer look here. So this is the first time we tried about 4 or 5 minutes ago, and this was more recent, just about 2 minutes ago. So we haven't quite gotten what we need yet. We are hoping to get there soon. I'm afraid. No, I'm not the one that opened it. Open it yourself.
Okay.
See?
So
can you see?
ready.
Ah, yes.
So
Can you see the
let's switch
difference?
it off.
It's like litmus paper test for those who did science. So can you see that? This is what we're trying to
Let me
achieve.
switch it off. Is enough.
It's the same palm oil, but you can see the difference from stage 1. Let me see. Yes, this is stage 1, stage 2, and now this is what we're trying to achieve. So you have to bleach it till it becomes like granite oil or vegetable oil, as the case may be. So that's what we've been able to achieve now. So now that we've pulled this off, what do we do next?
So after we set aside for it to get cool.
Oh, it has to cool before we can do anything.
If not, it will just splash off everywhere.
Oh.
So
we'll now put in the sauce?
Yeah. No,
the onions
we start
first.
with the onions.
Okay.
Then I use half of my iru
Okay.
first. Then half to balance later.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We've reached the top of the hour. We have 45 minutes on the other side.
Okay.
Let's take a break. The show continues in a bit. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria.
Alrighty then. Now, it doesn't matter how slowly you go, as long as you don't stop. And we're not stopping, are we?
As long as we get there, we're not stopping, yes. And we are never going to stop, actually. And that's why this hour we're taking it up another notch just to satisfy your thirst for top-notch breakfast content.
Yeah, speaking of breakfast.
It's all in the air. It's in the air.
And you know, they were doing a pronunciation thing earlier.
Ayamashi.
It's Ayamashi.
Ayamashi. Yeah, oh, hey.
Ayamashi, the wife of Mashi. That's how to pronounce it.
Wow.
Ayamashi sauce. That's what Chef Kemi Sola is making for us this morning. And we're doing it her style. Remember the litmus paper test, except that this is not litmus, so
Wow.
this is your process. So until your palm oil reaches this level or this grade, you have not bleached it yet.
You've not bleached.
That is very interesting. I never knew that you
Really?
had such a thing when it comes to cooking. A litmus test for your palm oil. Very nice. Incredible.
Welcome to the second hour of the show. We have about 45 minutes left on it, so we have loads to give. You need to stay right there with us. My name is Titilayo.
And of course, my name is Mazino Pale. You can watch the show live, GOTV channel 16 and channel 49 on UHF. You want to stream the show live as well at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in your comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeriaOnTVC.
That's for Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all the platforms. We are right there. And of course, the app is available for you to download as well. Hopefully, you have some space under your device. Android, iOS, no matter what it is, we are right there for your convenience.
Yes. Now, shortly, we have a musical performance for you guys. Baba Femi Samuel, popularly known as Blue Prince, will be joining us to perform his latest track titled Every Day.
This week, we're going to be looking at self-leadership for governance. Sheyi Jolayemi, a creative, dynamic, and self-motivated woman, is going to be right here talking about it.
SME, we have Dorcas Awinka, the CEO Imade Creations. Joining us, she'll be letting us in on how they make fine leather bags, throw pillows, and other handcrafted items.
You are not a bastard. No, just look at you. TVC, what's happening, man? Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. TVC is home for me. You don't know? It is. I was going to tell the MD. No. The MD does not know that I'm a staff here. He knows now. And they're always asking me for my ID card now at the gate. No. He's home for me. How you all doing, man? It's great to be here. You want that one trad? Come on. Big boy effect. Let's go there. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Miracle Okafor Paul. Miracle Opry. My future sorry. Ipeleng in the house.
Hello, beautiful people. It's your lady Catherine, our royal hotness, and it is TVC Fun Friday. And we have so many talents coming out today. I'm sure you guys will have fun today. Just keep it locked and let's go have a roll. Yes, let's go have fun, guys.
It was so much fun on Friday. Yeah, if you weren't here, you missed out. But we'll be showing you loads more of that a little later on. And how better to celebrate than with this meal they're cooking in the kitchen. My goodness, my tummy is rumbling. Mary, talk to me. How far?
It's all about Ayamashi sauce in the kitchen this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. Courtesy Chef Kemi Sola. She's the one making breakfast for us today. And, well, we have our palm oil ready. We want to show you what the palm oil looks like. So when you finish bleaching your palm oil, it is important to set it aside.
To cool.
To cool. So the reason we had it covered all the while, would have settled by now, but we had to leave it covered because of, you know, we are in an enclosed environment. But in the comfort of your home, you can simply carry the palm oil to your balcony or your backyard, depending on the kind of apartment you live in. Now, there was something you mentioned, the fact that it is important to keep it covered.
Yeah.
Because if you do not keep it covered, the moment you open it,
it can bring out flame.
It can bring out flame. It can cause accidents.
Yeah.
Because it's going to blow up and it will cause a mess. So imagine causing so much trouble for yourself. So if you have it covered, leave it covered. If you have it open, I'm sure there will be nobody in the house.
No, it's not nice.
But you get the idea, okay? Yeah. So yes, that's our palm oil. That's what it looks like now, the bleached palm oil. If you take a closer look, you'll see it looks quite like vegetable oil, groundnut oil. So yes, that's what it looks like. Yeah. And then besides that, Chef Kemisola, you don't want to tell us what you are doing.
I'm cooking ofada rice.
So this is the rice.
Yeah.
We are parboiling it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we're just going to let it boil for a while. Then it's the real local one.
Yeah.
So that's why the water is a bit brownish. Yeah. Though she washed it like 1 million times. At some point, I was beginning to feel sorry for her
just
fingers.
3 times.
But that's what it looks like. So we're going to, yes, so that's it. Take a look at that. Yeah, so it's the pure local ofada rice. So we're going to let it cook, boil for a while, then we'll drain the water, then put it back on the cooker there so it can cook properly. So we're waiting for this oil to cool. Is it not cool enough?
I think it's cool enough.
Yeah, because I know the way it looks now, some people have already poured in their pepper. It's
time to splash.
It will splash?
Yeah.
Okay, I've already put it on. Hold on small.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's e-splash that is going to happen this morning.
Okay, so we'll first of all put my onions.
Okay, so while it's off,
yeah,
since
let me
it's still quite
just,
hot. Okay.
So let me just put half of it.
So people put onions in food for different purposes. Yeah. What's the purpose of onions in this particular dish?
It can neutralize the oil. It can make the smell to just be, the aroma will just come out very nice.
Please go ahead.
So that's the reason why we use onion.
So that's how the cookie crumbles. The cooking process has commenced.
Yeah. So let's on it.
Okay, so now you're putting it on.
Yeah. So half of it.
Okay.
I use my half of it.
Okay, so you're using half of your
iru now.
So the remaining, you put it in water?
Yeah, to rinse it because of stone.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So use half of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
When the remaining one, when the pepper is
inside, you put the remaining one. So this is also to help create aroma and of course flavor as well.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
So now I'll pour in the pepper, the mixture of the green pepper.
Your Yorubas will say "Oti rusoke," meaning it's already bubbling, and you can only hope we survive this ordeal. Aha! There we go. There we go. That's it. That's it. Okay, so we're going to let that cook.
Yeah.
For how many minutes?
Because I've boiled the pepper.
Yeah,
there's no water there. So for at least maybe 15-20 minutes.
15-20
max.
minutes because it's pre-boiled. So the pepper, that's why it actually looks that thick.
Yeah.
Because there's no water in it. So we're just going to let it cook properly now. And then after 15 minutes, we'll add the protein, everything, the boiled eggs.
Yes, and the seasoning powder.
And the seasoning powder. Where is the salt going into? There as well?
Both rice and...
Both rice and salt.
Yeah, just minor salt.
Okay.
Because all this seasoning already has salt in it, so we don't add much.
So if you've been wondering how to make the ayamashe sauce, you're in luck because I'm sure you've been watching since the beginning of the show. If you haven't though, you can always watch previous episodes on YouTube. That's TVC Entertainment, okay? All right, at this point, we've got to take a break. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Just stay with us.
Welcome back. Now we have motivation this Monday, and it's a really interesting day to have a motivation segment. Now, this week we're looking at self-leadership for governance. Jolayemi is back. She's a creative, dynamic, self-motivated woman. She has over 12 years experience in idea conceptualization, brand management, and effective brand communication. It's always a pleasure having a conversation with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning.
All right. So now, when it comes to self-leadership, you know, those when we think of being a leader, we think of having an impact of people that are essentially following us.
Yes.
So there are leaders and there are followers.
Absolutely.
What exactly does self-leadership refer to?
Well, self-leadership is literally the leadership of you. And if you're not able to lead yourself, then it will be extremely difficult to lead other people. Okay. And sometimes it's not even in the difficulty for yourself, it's also in the difficulty for the people that you're leading, because then you don't even have an understanding of what it takes, for example, to be a follower. Okay. And if you are leading yourself, obviously you're following yourself. Okay. You understand what it takes to have somebody ahead of you. And as much as possible, we can learn leadership of others from leadership of self. Okay. So what you have not been able to achieve for yourself, it becomes almost impossible to achieve for other people. So more often than not, we're looking at, having someone ahead of us to lead us, which is fantastic. But if you're not able to lead yourself in following the instructions that are required to follow the person you're leading, then to a large extent, you're still not a good follower. I mean, you cannot be a good leader as well.
So I want to piggyback on a term you used. Okay. You said rules, regulations. You need to put in structures for yourself.
For yourself, yes.
Now, how do you begin to do that? So obviously, if you don't have something like that, you don't even know what guides to follow, what path to take. Sure. Where do we begin?
So many people actually focus on external more than internal.
Okay.
And for you to lead yourself, for you to understand what works for you to be able to put up measures and structures for yourself, you have to look inwards. So it starts with self-reflection, introspection, where then you can say, what am I doing? What's happening with me? What are these changes I'm experiencing? Why do I do the things that I do? And this would certainly lead to a higher level of self-awareness. So when you are aware of your strengths, you're aware of your weaknesses, opportunities that are around you, you're aware of what works and what doesn't work, you're aware of the kind of people you thrive with, then you will gradually be able to put in those measures, those checks. Or sometimes you want to achieve something, but it doesn't even come naturally to you. Yeah. Then you want to put in people around you who can help you, more like accountability partners, or sometimes you could want to call it forcing systems for yourself to ensure that you're able to achieve what it is that you are going for.
So I have to look at that, the additional term in what we're talking about today, governance.
Yes.
When people hear the term governance, they basically are making reference to, different types of people being essentially led in a particular direction. Now, whatever your guidebook has been, really is what you've used to self-lead.
Lead yourself, yeah. Yeah.
So what if for some reason you've been leading yourself down a path that you're not so proud of? Where do you make that U-turn in order to govern people that are around you or essentially working with you and not take them down the wrong path?
Okay, so I want to start by saying that as much as possible, if you identify that you have been leading yourself in the wrong path, I don't think you should jump at leading other people. Okay. Because obviously if you is difficult to lead for you, if you is not exactly being led in the right direction, then I wonder how you want to lead 10 or 50 or 1 million or, much more than that. So I believe that if you realize that you are not even been leading yourself right, then you need to draw back. I spoke initially about self-reflection, introspection, self-awareness, learning what you need to learn, getting rid of what you believe has not caused you to lead yourself right, and then, of course, onboarding new skills. Before then, you now go on to say, I want to step into governance, to lead other people.
So, but how do you know, a lot of people that don't realize that they've been going down a wrong path. Yeah. Maybe they're gauging it by how much they have in the bank or maybe how many staff they have. But they've not exactly been doing the right thing so far. Now, they probably are leading people in the wrong direction, but how do you know? How do you know that you've actually been doing the right thing?
There is no true leadership without impact.
Okay.
And you cannot say impact if you cannot measure. So we're talking influence on people that causes some level of impacts that you can measure and say, this was the standard of living, this was the lifestyle, this was what was obtainable, infrastructural development, level of economy, education, and all of that. So you have to actually have metrics that you're using to check not just yourself, but the people who are in your team or those that you're leading. You cannot just assume that you have been leading people right, because you mentioned that you might not know, but other people can know. And that's why why we start from within, but it has to certainly go out because you're leading other people, and metrics have to be what other people can measure, not just you.
Once you have metrics in place,
yes,
you have to sort of, okay, we have to make reference to things like discipline.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, you know, if you are the one judging yourself, for instance, by those metrics, you can't really say if those who are following you are going to be as disciplined as you or even have the same vision as you when it comes to governing people.
Yes.
Now, there are people that probably want to expand their horizons, but they've just not found the right followers or not the right ethics in their followers to go in the right direction or keep climbing. It feels like a plateau. What can they do from there?
You said they've not found the right ethics in their followers. There's something wrong with that.
Okay.
Because if you have been leading a set of people, we spoke about impact the other time, and influence, and they are supposed to learn from you, which of course now means that if you are a bad leader, you might actually be raising a set of bad leaders in your followers. But what it actually takes to lead people is to raise them to become leaders in their own right, because all of us are actually leaders in our own right. And more often than not, we're looking at governance as something for other people, but we need to build ourselves so that then we can go ahead and build other people as well.
All right.
Thank you.
So whenever you get to look upon a leader today, just understand that there are certain metrics that have been used to gauge whether they have been impactful enough to lead you and govern you. Yes, hint, hint. We have a hashtag you can use if you want to make comments and contributions. Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Would love to hear what you think. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, then. We're going to be taking a quick break and be back with so much more right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
All right, are you still out there? Have you been waiting for our SME segment? Well, it's here. Thank you for waiting. We have Dorcas Awoyinka here. She is CEO Imade Creations. She's here with us, and she will be letting us in on how they make fine leather bags, throw pillows, and also other handcraft items in her business. With her business, you are welcome, CEO Imade Creations.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here, Dorcas. Now, Dorcas, first off, we've been seeing plenty of pictures of your creations all morning since we started the show, and all the leather bags, the throw pillows, and everything. We wanted to find out exactly how you got started, when you got started, why you got started with Imade Creations.
Well, Imade Creations, we started 2010. And we started with bead crafts.
Okay.
We make bead, jewelries, anything in bead crafts. And then we also do throw pillows. We do events, decorations, and all that. But later on, we stopped for a while, and then we venture and focus on bag making, fabric bag and leather bags, and throw pillows.
Now we can see a couple of pictures of them, and look at that bag there, very beautiful. These are made out of cloth, are they?
Yes, fabric.
Cloth. Okay, so how has it been so far? Where do you source your materials from, and what are the challenges that you've experienced since you started Imade Creations?
Yeah, we get our materials from locals. We get our Ankara, we use Ashoke. We use George, and we use jeans, denis. We use any fabric for our bags, and we also get leather from the market.
I can see one of your production here with you. This is yours, isn't it? Can I have a look at that? Can I see that? This is a beautiful piece here, which you carry on yourself, and this is Imade Creation. I always have one question to ask producers of any of these kinds of material. From the point where you're making it, the amount that you spent putting into it, the raw materials, to when you sell it, give us an idea of how much profit you make from each of these.
Well, it depends on fabric, and it depends on what the person wants. Like my products, we have like this now, you can wash them.
Oh, okay.
Unlike some Ankara bags that you can't wash.
Okay.
But so some people were like, no, I don't know, no, I don't have time to wash. Just make me something nice and all that. So it depends on what the client wants and the design. So if they want a bag that is washable, the prices will definitely come up
So
because of the material.
if you spent 100 naira making this, your profit on that 100 naira when you eventually sell it might be what, 150? 130?
No.
What? Just an idea.
Like I said, it depends on the client.
It depends, huh? Okay.
So like from 50% profits.
Oh, that's good. That's a good
least-
margin.
At least.
Okay, so let's talk about how you got started. Did you have to go train anywhere before you were able to, or is this just something that came naturally?
Yeah, it came naturally.
Oh, really?
The only thing I learned was beadcraft.
Okay.
And then the bag, I decided to learn, but there was a program in a church, Redeemed Church.
Okay.
So they were showcasing all this, and I've already started learning somewhere. So I got some ideas of some design. I made the bag when I got home and show it to my boss. And she was like, then she calls me Mommy Daniel. So like, you've come here to embarrass me. So you know how to make these things. You know, and that was the end.
Oh,
She
really?
didn't teach me again.
Oh, really? Wow.
So, that I had
So
to
it was
go-
naturally inbuilt in you.
Yeah, so I just
You gave it a
wanted-
try,
Yes.
and it was boom.
So I was like, please, it's not like that.
Wow.
I came to learn. If I know something, I wouldn't have come.
That's an interesting
I'll have
story.
to bet. She's like, no. She didn't know this design, so how would she teach me and all that? So I went back to my God as a Christian. God, Baba God, please, I want to go into this. And like that,
Okay.
inspiration from designs, from magazines.
Yeah.
From
And have
YouTube
you trained other people yourself, since
Yes.
it's a natural with you?
Yes.
So you have people who work for you currently. You're training.
I
perhaps?
train people. I train people, yes.
How big is your operation? Like, does you?
I
and
work
how-
from the house.
You work from home. Do you have
I work
anybody else that works with you?
Yes, I have majorly my students.
Okay, good. That's good.
Students, the ones that have learned and new ones.
Okay, that's good. And how much do you charge to train a person? If I want to learn from you, for instance.
Well, bag making is in segments, so it depends on what you want to learn. We have the chemical bags, we have the chemical and sewn bag, and we have the completely sewn bag. And then we have leather and fabric. So if you are using like chemical bags, like some people just want to learn chemical bags, and their designs are limited. So we charge from 30K. From my charges are from 30K to 120.
Okay.
So
Okay,
it
that's
depends on what you
fantastic.
want to.
That's fantastic. Well, this looks fantastic. And for anybody out there who perhaps want to learn a craft, I think this is one way to go. They sell easily, don't they?
Yes, they sell easily because people are now into Afrocentric design.
Yeah, very true.
And
if I had a material on and I wanted my bag to be the same thing, all I needed to do was give you the material and you
Yes.
make a bag for that piece,
yes,
wouldn't you?
yes.
That's beautiful,
And
Dorcas.
souvenirs.
Souvenirs as well.
Like, tote bags everywhere
Yeah,
now, so you can
yeah.
easily make your money. You come to learn, you learn how to make tote bag. You put stickers. Any sticker, you can write on them, and
Wow.
and you start making your money. You make over 50%.
That's grand. Did you hear that, guys? You make over 50% of
Yes,
whatever
from
it is that
tote
you put in
making,
from
from
making
tote
these
bag,
bags.
yes.
Especially tote bags, which is what I see most people who,
Yes.
during events, they want to give these out as souvenirs and
Souvenirs,
all. So that's a very good idea and a very good way to make business if you're out there and don't have anything doing currently. All you need to do is learn and perhaps maybe put your heart into it, and you could be coming out with products like this that you could sell and make yourself an income. Dorcas, it's been grand having you here on the show. Thank you very much for giving us some inspiration into starting our own little businesses. But we won't let you go just like that. How about we, can you smell that beautiful smell in the air?
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's take you over to the kitchen so that we can show you exactly what it is.
Thank you.
Let's go.
And we're in the kitchen,
we
finally.
Yes, welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you.
So our chef today is Chef Kemi Sola, and she has made for us ayamashe sauce with ofada rice. We'd like you to dig in and give us your feedback on the sauce.
Dorcas,
in
be careful,
particular.
it's very hot and steaming.
It
It's
is.
not.
I can see the steam, or maybe it's just because it's cold in the studio, I don't know.
No, but well, that's
Please-
one thing.
please dig
That's
in,
one thing.
please.
But
Yeah.
it looks and smells amazing.
It does. It's ofada after all. I mean, what to expect? Only the best.
Yeah, you did.
All right.
Yeah. I'm very interested in that ayamashe name, by the way.
Yes, the wife of Mashi. That's the name of the
Mrs.
sauce.
Mashi.
Mrs. Mashi.
Mrs. Mashi.
Dorcas,
We call it Mrs. Mashi.
how did
sauce.
that go, Dorcas?
Ooh, look at that.
Very.
That's what we're talking about.
Very tasty, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh. What do you think?
Fantastic. That's grand, grand.
Aha, okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's one way to go for a holiday Monday.
Yeah.
Special dishes like these.
Yeah.
And also a story to go with it. Ayamashi.
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 The wife of Mashi.
Mashi.
We all learned something today. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
All through the day, you know, TVC will be showing you a live feed from Eagle Square. Our news updates will be covering all the proceedings. And yeah, we will be back again tomorrow morning from 7 a.m., yo.
Till then, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.